Hi, and welcome to this year's Kids Corps Kickoff Training. My name is Amy.
And I'm Denise.
And we're here to tell you everything you need to know to equip and inspire you for the amazing journey ahead as a Kids Corps leader. And today we're going to do that by telling you the Kids Corps ABCs. So sit back, grab your handbook that you should have picked up from one of us. If you don't have that already, click below at the link and you can print that off. There'll be some questions in the front cover that we want you to answer and bring back to us. We hope that. So here we go, the Kids Corps ABCs. A is for alone. Never be alone with the child. That's one of the big rules that we have here in Kids Corps. It's to keep the kids safe and it's to keep you safe. So whatever you do, please make sure you're never alone with the child. B is for be on time. This is one of the ways that you can help everything run smoothly. Please check in at the check-in volunteer table at the appropriate times that are stated in your handbook. So that would be 8:50 if you're serving at 9:15, 10:40 if you're serving at 11 o'clock, and at 4:40 if you're serving at 5 o'clock. Another thing to note is if you are running late or for some reason know that you're not going to be there at those times, if you could text Denise on the phone number that's in your handbook, that would be awesome. That helps us know if we need to have someone step into the classroom until you can be there. C is for communicate. Communication is one of the most important things in Kids Corps. As we just talked about, if you're running late, if you're going to be absent, we need you to communicate to us. You can do that by talking to us on the Sunday previous at our check-in tables. You can email us, you can reply to the weekly e-note, you can text Denise on her cell phone, but please let us know if you're going to be gone or absent. That helps us make sure that we have someone to be in the classrooms. Also, make sure you communicate with the other leaders in your classroom. That's why we ask you to get there early so that you have time to sit and discuss what's about ready to happen. You can kind of get to know each other and figure out how to make your day run smoothly. Also, let us know how it's going in the classroom. Sometimes it's hard for us to make it to all of your classrooms and we don't see everything that's going on. So if you're struggling with a child, if a child tells you something that's going on at home that you want to pass along to us, if there's no more supplies in your supply bin, those are all things that we need to know. So please communicate with us and we'll do the best we can to communicate to you also. Okay, moving on to D, do more together. That's our theme for the year, is do more together, because that's what we can do. We can do so much more when we're partnering together for the kingdom of Christ. So that means us partnering with parents, with families, with you as volunteers, with each other in Kids Corps, with other churches all around the world. When we do work together, so much more can happen. The other thing about do more together is there's no lead teachers in your classroom, and we do that on purpose. We want to make sure that each of you have a role in your classrooms and you know what you're good at. So make sure you take time to, before class starts, to talk to the other teachers in the classroom and figure out who's going to do what. E stands for emergencies. This is something that we hope never happens, but we do have to be prepared for. And we are here in Kids Corps. We have a handbook that'll be in your classrooms near the door with information on what to do if there's an intruder, a fire, a tornado, or medical emergencies. So we ask that you glance at that sometime. But the big things that we want you to know, first off with a medical emergency, is that most things can be cured with a Band-Aid. And so in your classrooms, in the cabinet, we have a boo-boo kit full of Band-Aids that usually will help any sad child with anything that they might be ailing them. We also have ice packs that we can run and get for you. If it's more severe than that, you need to let a Kids Corps staff know. So we can get a hold of our CART team and take immediate action. As far as fire and tornadoes and intruders, the best thing to know is that the Kids Corps staff will be giving you directions. The fire will depend on where the fire is, which way we exit. Tornadoes, we move to the interior of our room. Intruder, usually at this point, we just ask that you move to the bathrooms between your classrooms with the kids and shut your doors and lock them. But again, we'll be sending more videos on what to do on these specific emergencies if they happen.
All right, that brings us to F. Focus on the kids. Remember that you're here to serve the kids and to spend time with them, so let's keep the focus there. Ask them questions and listen to what they've got to tell you. They love the attention and they need to feel loved. For some of these kids, this may be the most one-on-one that they get during the course of a week. Please don't be on your cell phone. I am the biggest offender, so I know it's tough. And we know sometimes there is an emergency that you have to address. That's fine. If you need to make a call, grab someone, an extra person, and step out in the hall and make the call quickly. Get to know the kids in your class and their families. We're here on Sundays, but what the families see is you. You're the face of Christ for them. You're the face of Kids Corps to them. So please get to know them. The kids love to hear their name. As a parent, we love to hear our kids, be recognized and know that they're special. So just make sure you keep the focus on the kids. G, God. We keep God first, everything else will work out. Tough days, tough moments, everything works out as long as we remember why we're here and keep God at the center of it. H, easy, have fun. They're fun, they're funny, and they're excited to be spending the time here. So come in, know you're going to spend an hour and 15 minutes of who knows what, and have fun and celebrate it. I, inspire the next generation. When you come here on Sunday mornings, that's what you do. You are changing the world. They're learning from you from lessons, they're learning from you from Bible stories, but they're also learning from you in how you show them compassion and how you take time for them. And the message that you send them is the face of Christ to them, and that is that you are important and we care about you. J, let's do J again. Just do it. Fill out an application every 2 years. That's Church of the Resurrection, Kids Corps, application for working with minors. There's also a second certification called Safe Gatherings. That is a United Methodist Conference certification. They are two different things. No, it's confusing. The application for working with minors will take you less than 10 minutes to complete online. It will get you your first Kids Corps lanyard, and it will last for 2 years. We'll ask you again in 2 years to do that. The second thing is Safe Gatherings. That is a conference-wide. You get certification for 4 years. We'll change your lanyard color to show that you're Safe Gatherings certified. That takes a little bit longer. Once you get in, you can step out and go back into it, but it also is an online certification, and we ask that you do that just as an extra precaution, and we think it's an important role to take care of the kids and keep them safe. Okay, kids, know how many you have. They're small and they're quick. When you check the kids in, keep a count of how many you have. When it's time to leave and go to Treehouse Park or Butterfly Park, count them and make sure that the number you're leaving with is the number that you think you have. When you get to Treehouse Park or Butterfly Park, count them again to make sure that you arrived with how many you left with. Before you leave Treehouse or Butterfly Park, guess what? You're going to count those kids again. And when you get back to your classroom and you get them in the classroom, we're going to count it one final time. Those numbers should be the same every single time. And if they're not, we need to start looking. So just give us a shout and say, hey, we might be missing one. Also, when you leave the classroom, make sure you take your attendance sheets with you. That way you have names and you can match up, because sometimes as we leave an area, it's easy for a child to work into a wrong classroom, get in the wrong line, and all of a sudden we're spending a lot of time looking. L, let's talk potty. Child with a diaper, that's a staff problem. You all don't have to deal with it as volunteers. If you are a butterfly teacher or leader, there's a teacher in your classroom who is a butterfly staff person. They take care of all the diapering and all of that. If you happen to be in a rainbow class or a sunshine class and you have a potty issue or someone's still in a diaper, grab one of the staff people and we'll take care of that for you. A child who is potty training, if the child has an accident in their underwear, you're going to have to get a staff person to take care of changing that. We have extra clothes on hand, so just give us a shout and let us know. If a child needs to use the bathroom and they can do that with just a little help, you're going to have them in the bathroom. You stay outside in the classroom with the door cracked just a bit. We ask that you not go into the bathroom with the child, have them do the very best that they can, and if they need a button up, then just have them step out and you can button them out there. Whatever you do, we ask that you not go in the bathroom with the child, and if they need help in the bathroom, that you contact a staff person and we'll take it from there.
All right, moving on to M. M is for music. One of our favorite things is praise and worship time. This happens for the 2-year-olds in Butterfly Park and in Treehouse Park for our older kids. It's during this time that they get to praise and worship God, and we want you to be praising and worship God too. This is where they're going to hear a Bible story. We're going to praise God with our singing. We're going to pray over our offering. We're going to say prayers. And we're really excited to welcome our new praise and worship coordinator, Miss Keisha. If you haven't already said hi to her, make sure you do that. We're excited to have her on board. The big thing that we need you to do in Treehouse Park, besides engaging in the worship, is also to help redirect your kids. We want the praise and worship leader to be up front leading the music, and then if you could just help direct your kids to not be running around the room, or hitting another kid, or wandering everywhere, or being real loud, we appreciate that, and that helps everything run a little bit more smoothly. The other thing about music is that we do have a music CD in your classrooms, and it is the music that we'll be singing throughout the year, so that's a great thing to get out. The kids love the music. It helps them transition from different things. It helps them make cleanup time fun, so make sure you check out those music CDs. N stands for No Bad Kids. We want to make sure that whatever we're doing is with love and with grace. We want these kids to experience love when they come to church. And usually those kids that are acting out or causing most of the problems are usually the kids that need the love the most. So we just ask that you remember that. If you're having a lot of problems, you've redirected, you've tried lots of different things, let one of the staff people know. We're happy to come in and try to help in that situation and partner with the families and figure out what we can do to make that the most awesome experience that we can for the kids. O stands for, oh no, none of these. Some of the things that we don't want in the classrooms. First off is food. There are way too many allergies, and the kids are only in there for a short amount of time. So at no times will there be food, except for maybe the special occasion of birthday party for Jesus. We might bring in some special treats for that. But other than that, food is not allowed in the classrooms. We also ask that you are very careful with drinks. If you bring a water bottle in, something like that, that's fine. Just keep it on the counter away from kids. But try to stay away from hot drinks. We've had instances where kids try to grab that, and we'd hate for somebody to get burned with a hot drink. Other things that are pretty obvious, but we just want to make sure we state, is that there's no alcohol, there's no smoking in the classroom, anything that would be a bad influence for kids to see. All right, moving on to P. P is partner. You partner with a lot of people when you work in Kids Corps. First off, you partner with us, which we're so excited. We cannot do this without you guys' help. You're going to be partnering with those families of those kids. They're the first line of defense. You see those kids every single week in those families, and they're the ones they're coming back to every single day or every single week to see your smile and to be called by name. And you're also partnering with each other in the classrooms, which we already talked about a little bit. Q is for questions. Ask us. There's never too many questions. We would much rather you ask 10 questions as opposed to none. Again, we don't always know what's going on in the classrooms. We don't know what's going on with you. Some of you have been serving forever. Some of you just started serving. So please feel free to ask questions of us, of the other leaders in your classroom. And if we don't know the answer, we'll work to try to find that for you. R is for read it. One of the most important communications we have with you is our weekly e-note that we send out. Usually comes out on Wednesday. In that, you'll have your lesson plan for the week. We'll have some programming information, might have some helpful tips, might have a devotion. You just never know what might be in your email. But we do want you to make sure you read that. If you are serving on Sunday, we ask you open the lesson plan, you read through the lesson plan, because the best thing you can do is be prepared when those little kids walk in the door. It makes everything go so much more smoothly. We also have a new app called the Lead Small app that you'll be able to get the lesson plan right there on your phone. So look for some more information coming about the Lead Small app and how you'll be able to use that. S is for safety first. This kind of goes along with let's talk about checkout for a minute. The kids check in, but we get to the end of the class, it's time for checkout. Every parent has had the case where they've lost their sticker. In those cases, we do need you to make sure that you get a staff person to come and check out that child. We never want a child to leave with someone they're not supposed to. So very simple to say, hey, I need to get a staff person before I can let your child go. It'll just take a minute. One of us should be at the volunteer check-in table or wandering the hallway, so just pull us aside so we can check out that driver's license and make sure we keep the kids safe. Another thing along with safety, we'll say it again, never be alone with child. There should always be at least 2 non-related adults with the kids at all times. So just really make sure you pay attention to that. That's for the safety of the kids and for your safety also. And then finally, with safety, one of the hardest things to do is not to set the kids in your laps. They love affection. They think you're really cool, but we just ask that you not do that. So don't sit crisscross applesauce. They can't sit in your lap. You can have them come sit up next to you. The other thing is you can't go around kissing all the kids, giving them hugs. Kind of let them lead the way. If they want to come up and give you a big old hug, that's great, but don't go around hugging all the kids. For more information about the safeties, please take time to read your handbook, and you can find more information about how we can keep the kids safe.
It's tea time, time to arrive for Sunday school. When the kids come to Sunday school, those first 2 minutes are critical. They're critical to a child's engagement in the class. They're also critical to a parent's sense of well-being. One of the hardest things as a parent, as a lot of you know, is to leave your child, especially when it's a big building, lots of people, and it may or may not be somebody you know well. So immediately set the tone by greeting them with a smile, get down on their level and talk to them. And then, as you know, you'll have 3 little stickers shooting out of the printer machine in your classroom. One leader should do the check-in and stand at the check-in table. The consistent person in the classroom is always the best choice for that. So whether it's a youth or an adult, whoever's there the most and is most likely to recognize the kid, please make sure that they're the ones doing check-in. The other classroom leaders are going to stay in the classroom and help the kids get engaged. There's always a welcome bin activity on one of the classroom tables that's fun, something simple just to get them engaged. Big window, take a look outside, just help distract them and help get them started, engaged in the class, engaged with some other friends so that they're ready for the day. And you is for understanding. We have no idea what's going on in the lives of our kids or our families. We just know that sometimes they're late and we've already finished check-in, or we've started something, or they come and want to pick up a child early and we're right in the middle of an activity, or a child's a particular challenge that day, or maybe the parents are a little short with us. The biggest thing that we can do is just have an understanding that we're all here trying to make a better world, and we can be understanding of each other, and hopefully then they'll show the grace and be understanding with us too. V is for VIP Lounge. That is for you all. It is our new spot where you'll do check-in. We will have treats, bring your family. We encourage it to be a place where people come and commune. We will pray for you before you head out. That's where we'll start doing your check-in to know that you're here in the classroom. And just a little bit, if there's information that we need to pass on, that'll all happen in the VIP Lounge on Sunday mornings now and Sunday evening. W, we're almost done. Probably the favorite letter you have right now. But really, we're almost done in the classroom. And on a positive note, the first 5 and the last 5 minutes are always the most chaotic. Sadly, that's almost always what our parents see. We don't want them to think it was a sea of chaos the entire time they were gone. You have a cool closing bin that has some materials in it. It has a beanbag, it has a parachute, a lot of fun stuff, and a list of cards that give you ideas for what to do. You'll find quickly what works well in your classroom. Make sure you're doing an organized activity. That makes sure you're not left with a mess in the classroom to clean up after the kids leave, and it makes sure that they're still engaging and having some positive reinforcement, which is why they're here. See, example, X, that was a tough one, X, example. Lead by example, engage and participate. You set the tone for what's going on in the room. If you're disengaged and the leaders are standing leaning on the counter talking to each other, the kids are going to find something to entertain themselves. Unlikely that will be the lesson and the welcome bin. More likely it will be some shenanigans that we're going to have to break up later. If you're not leading, participate in the activity. If you're in friendship circle and there's one person leading it, get engaged in it. Be a part of the activity. Don't wind the kids up. There's no running, there's no carrying kids, no flipping anybody upside down. We know they like it, we know it can be fun. Pretty hard floors under that little thin layer of carpet, and it just gets the kids wound up and doesn't create the type of environment that we definitely want to make sure we're creating. Why do we do this? Because the kingdom of God is in these classrooms. And you as leaders are the people who are establishing the future by helping the kids understand not only what's in their lesson, not only what their faith words are, not only what they learn in their songs, but more importantly, you are the face of Christ. You are the person who listens to them, who cares about them, who makes them feel important, and down the road sometime, they're going to remember a lesson that they learned, and that may change how they see the rest of the world. Z's. We know it's not easy, we know it's hectic. So at the end of the day, go home, give yourself a nap, watch some football, and just kick back because you have earned it. We couldn't do it without you, and we hope that you help us with the building blocks to create the perfect year.